Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma.
It is time to start.
Good morning, Ambassador.
Can you please get notebooks ready? Your notebook to take key decisions we are going to make. It's time we are starting. It's already 9 o'clock.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
So we need to get ready for the meeting. Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Yes, ma. We are ready, ma.
Okay, Mrs. Bakari, can you please, I'll be reading now the names of those who attend. Can you take down the notes? We need record of those who comes to meetings. So I will read the names out for you now.
Okay, ma.
I can see yourself. You need to write your name down. I can see Bawa Ogisi.
Yeah.
Bawa Ogisi, Basil Obina,
Okay.
Comrade Hamza Abubakar, I think.
Abdul
Those are
Salam.
the ones I can see at the moment. So, but in a moment, I will ask everybody to introduce themselves, all right? Mrs. Bakari, when they introduce themselves, please write down their name. We need record of those who attend meetings.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma.
Just give me 5 minutes for this truck to move away from here. Right, I can see Sahid Lawal has joined us. Sahid Lawal is another person here who has joined us. I can see Mrs. Bakari, can you please tell me if you've written down the names as I read them out?
Ma?
You need to tell me, yes, you have written down the names as I read them out.
Yes. I'm written down the names.
Can you read down the names you have written?
Yes. Joy Bakare, Erelutu Ashe, Honor Vincent Ubani, Basi, Ogushi, Arua, Victoria Vandi, Said Lawan.
And I can see, I have seen Mudasir Awuwal. Mudasir Awuwal.
Yes, Mudasir Awuwal, yes. I've written them.
Okay, so can somebody lead us with a short prayer? Thank you. Can somebody lead us with a short prayer, please? Mrs. Bakari.
Father, in Jesus' name,
Amen.
we thank you for making it possible for us to wake up this morning. We appreciate you. And we ask you to guide us, lead us in everything we are going to say, deliberate on this Zoom meeting to become successful and give us grace to have one voice as one youth family. In Jesus' powerful name, I pray.
Amen. Can you please write down Chufubani's name as well? I didn't hear you read it out.
Yes, I've done that, ma'am.
Okay. Chufubani, can you welcome everybody to the meeting, please, first?
Yes, I welcome every one of us, my dear brothers and sisters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here, and I am grateful to see our delegates, most especially our brothers from South Africa and the UK, and being here. And I pray that God will make us put heads together to forge a way forward. So let me just put it at this point that in the nearby future, I will continue my discussion. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And thank you.
Chufubani, Mrs. Bakari, are you taking notes of the meeting, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Bakari, are you taking notes of the meeting? Chufubani has welcomed us to the meeting. Right, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Chufubani, can you remind us of the purpose for this meeting?
Okay. Actually, the purpose for this meeting, just the topic is matters in need of urgent attention. And the meeting becomes very paramount because of the resolve and the resolution which was brought out on a communique towards accomplishing our our assignments ahead of 2021 to 2023 victories in the upcoming elections. So we have been having a lot of challenges in terms of financial constraint to enable us discharge our activities and our operations that will lead towards the Operation Youth Takeover Leadership for 2021 to 2023. Because when we are saying we are taking over leadership in 2023, there is no way we can achieve it if we are not actively involved in 2021 politics in the nation. Currently, election is coming up by June in Lagos State and some other states, including Oyo, Ogun, even Anambra, Ekiti, and as well other parts of the countries. Elections are coming on. So we actually need to be involved in all this election process. We actually need to be in operation. And since we lack financial capacity, we have some of our executive who is a motion that we should place a three-system levy upon us, especially the ordinary members of the NYSSRF and the youth student structures, to be paying 1,000 monthly, and the stakeholders should be paying 2,000. Why our Nigerians in diaspora, who happens to me, who I see as the key people that is supposed to give us the necessary strength to achieve the goal, they should be paying a level of 5,000. But that is not limited to that. Is someone can make a donation on any amount, but we are talking a mandatory levy of this amount, wages of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, so as to be able to ensure that month to month we'll be having a kind of a funds in our account, which will make us be able to be doing things that even the world will know that the youth are determined and are ready to take over leadership. And as well, that will also give us the privilege to now be officially be having a kind of 3 times presentation of our statements of account once there is an inflow of money and the responsibility of people paying such level. At least they will be able to entitled to now receive at least once in a 3 months annual report of the what we generate and what we are doing and the cost of things we are doing and so on. So these are part of the reason why we have, since the communique is out, then we now decide to hold a meeting like this so as to seal it up and so as to also ensure that we are in one page. Though there are some other issues that we may include in this meeting that has to do with, for example, our constitution is ready because the write-up we sent, we talk about GoFundMe, and we also think about there are other processes we can use to generate revenue to ensure that we just be able to continue doing something. And as well, even up to the level of going to invest some little investment in terms of we can have a pure water a place where we can be doing a business of selling pure waters, manufacturing pure waters and selling so as to be generating money for the operations. And as well, we have a program that is coming up, which is the joint World Press Conference on full adoption of ADC for the Lagos State and other local government elections. So all this is the reason of calling for this meeting, so as to ensure that all the stakeholders is automatically in the picture, and most especially those who has not registered as a full member is supposed to do a registration. For those who are to be fully involved in the institution training, who will receive our certificate at the end of the day. These are also discussion we need to discuss, because if you see some like last week, there was a flyer that indicated 2,000 for registration and 10,000 for certificate clearance, certificate and attendance fee. All these are something we are trying to see how we can use to be generating money. And at the same time, those who are issuing this clearance certificate, it matters a lot because it speaks a lot that these are the bona fide stakeholders. Those we look forward to be our candidates, those who look forward to speak, and to who we have to give an account to at any time. So these are part of the reason of the calling for this urgent meeting, emergency meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Can we go around the room? Is there anybody who wants to raise any other issues before we start? We have heard what Chief Ubani said, what the purpose of the meeting is. Anybody wants to raise any other issues? The purpose of
Yes,
the
this is Honorable Basil Obina.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to re-emphasize what I've said earlier before now. We're saying you take over, yes, we agree, but I'm still asking, don't we have adults who are good enough to be part of this, our move? Because I do believe as much as youth want to take over, it's not every youth is a saint as we're thinking or we're talking about.
Chief, you cannot raise the issue and we are discussing it. I will have it as agenda item. If I may, yes, okay. Agenda item. Sure. Please remind me of your name, Chief Basil, yes?
No, it's Basil Obina, I'm not a chief. I'm Mr. Basil Obina.
No problems, noted. Anybody wants to raise any other agenda? Okay, in the absence of any more issues, let's go straight on. Let's go straight on to Basil Obina. Let's start with your issue. You have 5 minutes to state your case, uninterrupted. Over to you.
Okay, ma. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mama Eleru. Thank you so much, my colleagues and patrons. I want. Hello? Hello?
Excuse me, if you are using headphones, please take it off. I have muted everybody. Please do not unmute yourself until you have to speak. Please do not unmute yourself until you have to speak. Over to you, Basil Obina.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, I was trying to say that of a truth, our current leaders have disappointed us. But I still believe we still have intelligent, honest, passionate leaders who have not been given opportunity to serve Nigeria, who possibly have been labeled as corrupt old leaders that want to make put aside. And I still want to say or believe that there are still youths among us who are not that good as we presume. So I'm thinking we should go deep down in our localities in Nigeria and in diaspora and bring up these old men and women with cogent experiences, with the passion, and who are not happy with what is happening in Nigeria. Some of them have been overseas for the past 20, 30 years. Some of them are professors, some of them are engineers and other career, different professions. So also in Nigeria, in our varsities, we have professors, we have researchers who are not been, whose wisdom have not been tapped in terms of good leadership in Nigeria. Some of them have been victims of the current leadership. I'm thinking that we should bring these people on board. While the youth are in, these people can work as well with the youth to, direct and tutor the youths. Because as youths, there are things we think we know. According to my adage in Igbo language, they say, there's something an old man is sitting down and seeing far off, but a child is standing even on top of his stool, yet he cannot see beyond what the old man have seen. Take a case example of the states now, we know the United States. Look at the composition of the executive officers, the president, the head of Senate, head of Republican, head of the House of Rep, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them. They are all old people, and they also have the youth among them. So if we say youth, this may not all go very well. In the heart of those old people who think they also have what it takes to move Nigeria forward, but they have been relegated due to the current happening in our political landscape in Nigeria. So I'm of the view, we'll look down, we'll look deep, we'll dig deep and fish out those elderly men and women with cogent experiences, with appropriate mindset for the way forward for a better Nigeria. Thank you. I'll leave it here now for now.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Basil Obina. Well, my conclusion with what you have stated is that you seem to be saying that youth takeover does not necessarily mean we should exclude those who are not youth. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to invite comments. Now, Mr. Obina is saying very clearly that youth takeover, the need for young people to take leadership, does not mean we keep out the old people. Anybody wants to comment on that? Please, when you give your comments, state whether you agree or disagree. Do you agree that youth takeover is only youth, no old people? Or do you agree that youth takeover can involve old people. Youth takeover plus old people. Youth takeover minus old people. Which one do you speak in favor of? I will repeat. Youth takeover minus old people. Youth takeover plus old people. I welcome comments.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please introduce yourself. Thank you.
My name is Adesina from Oyo State.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Welcome. You have 5 minutes to share your thoughts.
Okay. Now, it is good to have the leaders in the stakeholder of it. But we have to look at what
are we adding these people?
On what attention or
do for? Okay, are we adding them for to contest or for advisor or for them to be a sponsor or for them to do so?
We need to clarify the areas we need this header for. Because if we are inviting headers in the stakeholder, if you don't clarify the aspect that you need them to come in for, definitely when they get here, there will not be difference between what we are saying and what we want to do now. Because we are saying youth takeover. And when we are saying youth takeover,
please permit me to interrupt. You are not speaking in favor or against. Please start off by saying, I agree, youth without old people. Or I agree, youth with old people. Which one are you speaking in favor of?
Youth with
Sorry?
I want youth with old people.
Okay, so we are getting somebody saying youth plus old people means youth takeover. I repeat, youth plus old people equals youth takeover. Over to you.
Yes. Youth plus old people is equal to youth takeover. But we need to clarify the aspect we want the headers to come in. That's my own view.
Thank you very much indeed. Any more? Anybody else wants to comment on this?
My name is Baogisi. I support that motion.
You support youth minus old people or youth plus old people?
Youth plus old people. But my position is that the old people won't be in position. I would like them to be in a place like advice.
Okay. So let me repeat what I've heard from two of you. Youth takeover means youth plus old people, but old people take back seats.
Yes.
Am I right?
You're right for me.
Okay. Anybody wants to object or support?
If I may come in, first of all, I was
supported.
So far we have the decision. The decision is youth takeover means youth and old people work together. I repeat, youth takeover means youth plus old people, but the role of the old people must be advisory. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Anybody else wants to speak against that? Let me remind you, Mr. Basil Ibani has raised an issue today. he said he has proposed that youth takeover means youth plus old people. So far, everybody who has spoken, they agree that the plan for youth takeover means youths plus old people playing advisory role. Anybody objecting to that? Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Victoria Wendy from Adamawa State.
Okay.
I'm supporting youth takeover plus all men. Plus old people. Old people.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
They should be in position of sponsorship.
Okay. Now, I don't think we should pursue this discussion anymore. Mr. Basil Obinna, you raised this issue. Now you have heard from some of you. What is the conclusion we have reached? Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, once more. I'm glad to hear my brothers and sisters' view of what they've said. I will, as a matter of fact, support that the old people, like I say, I keep saying, there are old people that have what it takes in Nigeria and in diaspora to turn around the narrative we currently have. But they have not been given the opportunity. We should scout and look for such people, bring them into the mainstream of what we're having, let them, from their mind, tell us this is how and where they want to fit in for a successful youth takeover henceforth.
Can I stop you there?
Okay,
we need to conclude this issue. We have agreed what you proposed. You have proposed a review of the meaning of youth takeover. You,
correct,
Mr. Basil Obinna, today, the 5th of April, 2021, at a meeting, you have raised a query. You raised a review of the understanding of what youth takeover means. And you have proposed that youth takeover means youths plus old people working together. Supplementary position of yours is the role of the older people should be advisory. You have also gone forward to say, let's not just bring any old person. Let's select. I don't think we should pursue that anymore. We have reached a decision that is satisfactory. That is my opinion. Your motion has not been defeated. It has been supported. Any objections? Any objections?
I will advise to move forward.
Okay, so we have unanimously agreed that if you do not, let's see, if you disagree, it's the moment to talk about it. You cannot go back and start raising issues. So right now, the meaning of youth takeover, the meaning of youth takeover is youth and old people working together. That is the decision today. That is the decision today. Supplementary decision, we don't just go and bring any hunky-dory old person, come. We select them. Give those, it means, I want you to listen. It means none of us can just go and bring any old person and say, come and join. No, 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 no. We have got to select them. Select. That's one. Number two, their roles in the organization must be pre-agreed. 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 Right. So those are the supplementary decisions. You don't just go and bring my father, Chief Obasanjo, for instance, sorry to mention, come and join
Sorry,
us.
I want to come in. Sorry, ma.
Please
Can
go
you
ahead.
please expatiate on that pre-agree? Can you please expatiate on it, ma? Please, ma.
Which one of it?
You are talking about anybody coming in to be pre-agreed.
Yes, they have got to be recruited, they have got to be selected, and they have got to pre-agree their role. That their role, for instance, is 2 suggestions made. That they are coming in because they want to sponsor. That was what somebody said. Somebody, a female said that. Sorry, please forgive me. I couldn't. From Nasarawa State, I think Adamawa State. Now, the young lady said they're coming for sponsorship. Another person said they're coming to be advisors. So we got 2 roles for them. So if we are going to go and find these old people, before you bring them come, you have to know they are either good advisors or they are going to sponsor. Those are the 2 conditions for bringing them in. Anybody wants to seek clarification? Those are the only 2 conditions. To bring old people, go ahead.
Sorry, ma. Are we having a stand now that old people coming in have 2 things? They have 2 things: sponsorship and advice. Are we standing on that?
Well, those are we haven't closed the discussion at the moment. We haven't. We have 5 more minutes on this matter. So far, 2 suggestions made. You have any other suggestion? Please, it's time to put it forward.
Okay, this is another issue on it. I want to advise and say something on that. When we are talking about old people, is it about age or about?
There are some people that they have been in the system of this politics for a long time, but they are not old.
They are between.
Please remind me of your name.
Adesina.
Mr. Adesina. Okay. Let me say this. Old means age. Old means age. It doesn't mean anything else. Old means age. Because if the movement is about young people, if you are young, there's no problem. You're welcome. No problem. The old means old. Age, maybe from 60. That is matter arising. Are we talking about from age 60? Are we talking about age 70? We need to make that decision now. Who do the youth take? Listen to me carefully. The youth take over initiative. Who does the youth take over initiative consider old? 60, 70, 80. Any suggestions?
That's fine.
No, you need to suggest. Please.
That is my suggestion on that. Anybody from 60 upward, they are old. Let's categorize them.
Okay, fine. Any suggestions? 60? Do we go to 50?
60.
60? Any suggestions? 40 is old?
No, we have a target age in the youth takeover, and it's very clear. That was the result of the age bracket we have targeted, which is 50.
Well, can I stop you there, Chief Ubani? You cannot. Any decisions you held before is subject to review. That is why we're having this meeting. This decision to have this meeting is to carry people along. So today, those who want to work with us have Mr. Basil Obina. Thank you very much. He raised an issue. That issue is what we are discussing, and so far so good. We've got three reasons why old person must come in. First, age-wise, we need to decide on that. Somebody says 60. Anybody wants us to go below 60 for somebody who's old?
Ma'am, can I come in, Basil?
Please come in. Please come in.
Yes, ma'am. According to global experience of retirement age, I think people are aged when they are between 60 and 65. So based on that, I would recommend that we should look old people from 60 and above.
Thank
and
you.
People do age.
That's
my
fine.
view.
That's fine. Can I say, if you object to that, that's the only reason to speak. If you object to 60, please speak.
I am the one speaking, and I still want to say the age bracket of 60 and above as considered old, and maybe 60 below as considered youth. We have a target.
Can I stop you? Please, I don't always like long. Just choose your number so that we can be focused. 60 below, above.
I stand on the 50.
50.
That is what we reach.
Okay. 50. We've got to make a decision. Anybody wants to go below 50? We have got 12 of us here. We may have to vote on that number. But before I put a vote in, can I ask you? We've got two numbers, 60 and 50. Now, if I will call your name. If whichever of the two you choose, let me know. Now, we need to make a decision. Now, let me go to Honorable Vincent Anthony Ubani, 50 or 60?
50 above is considered old, while 50 below.
Okay. Now 50, that's fine. Let's go straight on to the next. Joy Bakari, 50 or 60? Which one?
60, ma.
Okay. Now let's go to Basil Binna, 50 or 60?
60.
Okay. So we have 2-1 now. Bawa Ogizi, 50 or 60? Bawa Ogizi, 50 or 60? Chief CBN Omua, I don't know the name. 50 or 60?
50, Bawa.
Bawa, 50. So that's 3. We've got 3. Now let's go to Engineer Additional Popola, 50 or 60? Additional Popola, 50 or 60? Let's go straight on to Nikki Raw, 50 or 60? Umegu, 50 or 60? Chinozo and Jofo, 50 or 60? Victoria Vandi, 50 or 60?
I have a reserve on the issue based on.
Please name yourself before you speak. We don't name, please name.
Sorry, this is Chief CBN Owasanya.
Okay, if you just hold on, please. You have a reservation. I have a decision on the table. At the moment, we have only had 4 people who vocally support. 3 say 50 upwards. Only one says, I'm going to mute everybody. Please do not unmute yourself unless you have to speak. Right. At the moment, it looks as if 50 upward is the way forward. Right. We can review that decision in a different way, but so far so good. 50 upward seems to be favored. The others I haven't heard. Let me go to the gentleman who has a reservation. Please remind us of your name again. Start with your reservation, and you have 5 minutes to tell us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief CBN Onwasanya, popularly known as Ndibo for 2023 Federal Republic of Nigeria. My reservation on this particular issue is based on the litigation issue in the future. When I got this invitation, I'm interested to interact with our people. Age is a very, very sensitive issue. I can understand that our people, because of our political or recycled politicians, makes us to look as if to say that 60 years of people is old age. There is an 100% what research we are doing. I'm a health professional anyway. People are living longer now in the Western world. Why? Because of medication and taking care of ourselves. In our country, Nigeria and Africa, because of recycled politicians, makes us to be poor. It looks like somebody 60 years is old. Here now, a woman of 50-something years can have a child. And people are going to retirement age at age of 65, 67, and they're still young, they're still strong. I love to interact with our people, to have what is called trans-skill experience. So that is why I make this reservation, because I wouldn't like in the future, our people like to criticize, they like to blame. People, we don't even like to think how to make a resolution or how to find a solution. That is why I put my reservation on this. This is my first time being with you people, and I'm happy to be in your midst. It's my little contribution so that I won't take much of your time. There's a proverb in our culture. I don't like being discriminatory or ethnic something. Because I have to speak in our language. Let me speak it in English. We said somebody invited to come and eat cannot wash 2 hands. So as I can find myself as an observer on this forum. I wouldn't like to take much of your time because this is my first time interact. This is a little thing I want to keep in. Thank you so much for you people giving me time. I'm so happy.
Thank you very much, Chief. Let me do a summary of what you have said. You have legitimately raised the potential for litigation on the basis of discrimination in the future. You are saying in the future, would it be possible for someone to take this organization to court for being prevented to become a member or active based on age? Now, that is something I will address in a moment. It's important to raise that, and thank you very much. But, Chief, this whole movement has just started. The initiative, You Take Over, is also new. Now, I would hope that in the future, any bona fide associated individual can ask for a review. I take seriously what you said. Is it right to discriminate against anyone because of age? Is it right to discriminate? I think there is something called positive discrimination. That means you can legally, you are allowed to discriminate if you believe certain people are underrepresented. the people here, I mean, the organization NYSCRF is for young people, I understand. I think that is the parent body. NYSCRF is for young people. That is the organization. The organization has age limits, and I think their age limit is 50. Now, this organization, NYSCRF, has got a new initiative to facilitate leadership of young people. Leadership of young people. It's been agreed that the young people need to take over leadership. And that is the new initiative of this organization. But today, as we gather, Mr. Basil Obinna actually raised an important matter, historically important. He asked the question, should youth takeover mean minus old people? A very important question, and thank you, Mr. Obinna. Should youth takeover mean minus old people? And I think that addressed the issue you have raised, Chief CBN, because Mr. Basil Obinna probably is of the same mind that, why should we keep old people away because we want youth people to take over? They might as well keep me away as well. You see? They'll keep me away as well. Now, at the end of the day, he raised it. And we went forward, and congratulations, everybody. Without you saying so, Chief CBN, people who have spoken said, no, it is not right now to keep them away because of age. They're not all bad. They're not all bad. No, they're not all bad. But a sensible suggestion came. Let's not just open the door for all of them, just like that. That is evidence of an organization made up of people who have wisdom. The people gathered here today, they have wisdom. And well done. Their wisdom is what they have used to say, look, if we want all people to come and help us with this big project, youth take over, we've got to be selective. We cannot just open door for all of them. They must have a purpose they want to play in our life. They can come to be advisors. They can come to sponsor us. Then we got to who is an old person. I think I'm going to close this particular discussion on the decision that old person, according to NYSCRF, the parent body, that is the organization we are all working with right now. If you don't know that, know now. NYSCRF, that's the organization that Chief Ubani is leading. Now, so we have agreed that the age 50 and above is old. Let's rest. Oh, I can see Honorable Duru Festus. Now, over to you. Honorable Festus, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ambassadors, good morning, honorables. My name is Festus Duru. I just want to say, though my gadget has issue, I was unable to come in, but I had to use my wife's gadget to come in. I joined when the discussion about the age was ongoing. Then at a point, opinion of some comrades were sick. I don't know. My opinion was also not sick because I also have an age bracket in which myself I support.
Chief, sorry, I call everybody Chief. Honorable Duru, please. I must close this discussion. I need you to be very focused. One, are you saying you are objecting to youth takeover means youth plus old?
I am not objecting to that.
Okay.
I'm supporting
Second point.
60 years.
Second point. Are you saying the maximum age for youth should be 50, and anybody above 50 is old? Which one? Yes or no?
No, I stand by 60.
Okay, in which case I can't allow you to go any further. If that is your main objection, I'm going to suspend decision on this matter. It's not to be discussed. Mrs. Joy Bakari, I will go through the names of those who are here today. They can vote whichever way. And at the end of the day, we know who has won. That's the way forward. Because at this point in time, only 4 of you actually voted. I think Honorable Festus Duru is the next one to say 60. So we have 3-2. It means we need to do something else. The question again is, which age is old? Let me read the information I've just received on the chat. There are other matters of importance. The decision today is that youth takeover means youth plus old. Nothing more to be discussed about that. The only supplementary decision we need people to vote on away from this platform would be 50 and above old, 60 and above old. We'll come back to that at some point as to how we do it. Thank you very much indeed. So let's go straight on to other matters that are more pertinent. I want to thank those of you who have contributed. That's a very useful debate, wisdom-led. Thank you. Let's go straight on to, I want us to please understand, if you are associating with this organization, you have joined informally or formally NYSCRF. That is Nigerian Youth Social Corporate Responsibility Fund. That's what you have joined. Right. Remember that. Anytime you are involved in this, that is it. And Chief Ubani is the Director General. Now, let's go on. It is this NYSCRF who has been bold to say, we want a youth takeover initiative. And the youth takeover initiative is to position young people to leadership, to impact meaningfully on good governance and the future of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, to move on with that, they've gone through a procedure of deciding which political party they wish to work with to deliver their own objective. The objective is youth takeover. So we are going to factory. NYSCRF factory wants to deliver youth takeover. In order to do that, through a democratic system, a decision has been made. Support ADC. So please, if you are part of NYSCRF and you don't want to work or help the organization to assist ADC, then you are in the wrong place. You are in the wrong place. The decision has been made. ADC is what NYSCRF has democratically decided upon. So it is working for ADC as of today. Whether it will be reviewed tomorrow, I don't know. So in order to do that, there's the question of preparation to establish the relationship. You can see how I'm choosing my word. Now, NYSCRF is the husband and has decided, because I want you to remember this illustration. NYSCRF is the husband looking for wife and presented to NYSCRF, I believe, a number of wives, APC, blah, blah, blah. I don't know which ones were presented. All I know is NYSCRF has decided to marry ADC. ADC has decided to marry. Right. Now, deciding to marry, all that needs to be worked out. A relationship has to be established. Has to be established well. You don't go and marry somebody who is going to bring you wahala. You believe. Don't forget that it is NYSCRF wants to deliver only one baby. You take over. That is the baby that NYSCRF want to deliver. That is why NYSCRF has found itself ADC to pregnate and deliver baby. You take over. That is the baby. Remember, NYSCRF is the husband, has found a wife. The wife name is ADC. Which baby is going to be born? The baby that is got to be born is you to take over. Am I right? Am I right? That is where we are going. So in order to be able to do that, lots of expenses. And hence, there is the issue of a 3-system levy. Let me hand over to Chief Ubani. Please restrict yourself to explanation of the 3-system levy. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Eredu. I really appreciate the way you have been able to manage the voting that just finished, and I am sure that actually the voting we may still go forward in nearby future to also deliberate and vote further on the age bracket, because it is something that we must ensure that we have all agreed on a particular age and we work towards that age. To be very frank with you, the reason of us tagging the 50 is because we as a youth umbrella body, we believe the 50 years is the limit to where we can address as youth. And we also believe that majority of the old people that has made this country unbearable for we are between the age of that 50 and above. So we are trying to find a means of blocking them not to have access to youth takeover in times of they can be part of us. We are together. We can work with them, but they will only play a role of like advisory and also giving us necessary support or funding us or whatever way they target us. But we are not ready to bring in old people to come and lead us again, because the one they have led.
Danny, I'd like you to move straight on to the 3-system levy.
Okay, in terms of the earlier briefing, the purpose of this meeting was to enable us, put heads together to see how the NYSCRF can be able to have funds available for us to be able to meet up our activities. Since we have been any small thing, we keep sending fund donation, fund support at all time. It becomes as if even at that, when you send it, you hardly get those support. Now the emotion was raised for a 3-system levy should be introduced, which is the 1,000 naira levy should be introduced to members of the NYSCRF nationwide and the student that is all a part and parcel of the NYSCRF, and also the ladies wing, and also that 2,000 naira levy fee should be introduced to the stakeholders and the mother's wing and father's wing, those among the NYSCRF nationwide. Then 5,000 naira levy fee, monthly levy fee, should be introduced to our people in diaspora. This is to give us the room to assure that at every month there is some kind of levy coming into the purse of the NYSCRF
so that we can be able to be fulfilling our activities and our operations without waiting for anybody or continue begging online.
Now, let's start from there. Don't forget the illustration I've given you. NYSCRF is the husband wanting to marry ADC. Now, there are expenses to come. Now, the expenses, as Chief Ubani has said, a 3-tier system, a certain amount of money for diaspora, certain amount of money. We need to define this here and now. Now, as you cannot, on the basis of location of somebody, request they pay more than other members. That is discrimination. If they need to, if people in diaspora, because of their economic status, choose to give you more money, that is their right to do so. I say that because if you start one group paying more than the other, you will come to a situation where it will be, they will see themselves having more say. The more money I put into your organization, they have a right to do so. Because it's different category. You can introduce 3 categories if you like, but the basic contribution must be the same. It must be the same. You cannot, because of geographical location, do that. People in Abuja, they are richer than people in Enugu. Are they not? They are. So if you don't treat those in Abuja different to those in Enugu, or those in Lagos, different from those who are in Sokoto, you cannot do that. So we need to agree that anybody who chooses to associate with NYSCRF should pay the basic amount. That basic amount has to be agreed. That would be my recommendation. I'm not NYSCRF. Anybody can support that or go against that, but I have highlighted that you cannot, because of geographical location, ask people to pay more than the other. Because you don't know, most of them in US and UK, their whole house is furnished with the higher purchase. You don't know the life they are living there. Yes, they have credit card to borrow money. Most of them are in debt. Many of them are not solvent. They haven't redeemed their mortgage. They have their own palaver. So please don't assume. Don't assume. The only difference financially between those in the diaspora and I will speak of US and UK is they have capacity to borrow money. They are ridden by debt. I mean it. And what they do, they have no cash fluid of their own. I say so because I know so. I mean, people like myself are rather fortunate. At the end of the day, that's a different ball game. So please don't assume. Do not assume. So I want to put to you that we have got 1,000 naira per month for, is this going to be annual 1,000 per month annually? That is, what do you want to call that? A levy? Yes, it is levy. Levy means
levy.
That means it is mandatory. Yes.
Yes.
So the levy is mandatory. If you impose too high a levy on people, they won't pay it. You can't do anything for them. So my grandmother used to say, 1 penny that comes in quickly is different from 1 pound that never comes in. So I'm going to stop there. The matter here on the table is a levy of 1,000 naira per month. I can see Engineer Pokuola's hands up. Over to you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, ma'am. By me, I what Honorable Ban said, our hands are not equal.
I think you are using headphone. Please take it off. I can't hear you well.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I will go by what Honorable Ban said. The hands are not equal. When I will simply go by that. But if the student can pay 1,000 naira, at least you will find it easy for them to pay.
Can I ask you to be focused? Are you saying 1,000 naira for everybody?
No, the way you just seem lying.
Now, okay, can you stop? Can you stop there? Honorable Ibani, repeat it. 1,000 for who?
1,000 naira. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. 1,000 naira is for our ordinary members, ordinary youth and students. Why?
Excuse me, there's nothing called ordinary. Please,
no, when I said
students.
1,000 naira for the youth and students, unemployed youth, because we have unemployed youth, we have employed one.
Please don't. I understand. Don't too much words doesn't help.
Why
please be focused. Are you saying? Listen very carefully. If you say they are students, they must have evidence they are in full-time education.
Yes.
They must have evidence because you are trying to create situation that may be difficult to manage administratively. If you say they have to be students, it means they have to have evidence that they are students.
Yes, for sure.
Right. So you have to have evidence. So I think you really need to think carefully. If I would like to recommend to you, please do not tag whether somebody is a student or not. Anybody who cannot afford 1,000 naira can become ordinary, means you are non-financial. So you don't pay. That is different. But if you start introducing students, unemployed, so today he's unemployed, tomorrow he's unemployed, please, it doesn't make sense.
I think we should just, I think at this junction, to enable the whole stress be reduced, we are going to remain, the level fee will be 1,000 naira, but for our executive and the stakeholders, they are paying 2,000 naira. And our people in diaspora.
Can I stop you? Who is a stakeholder?
Yes. We have our stakeholders.
In what? Please define. There are many of us who don't know who you talk about stakeholder. Who is a stakeholder?
When I mean stakeholders, are those who have been taking a lot of money in this movement, who has been involved, who are officially registered members. Each registered
okay.
Paid 7,500.
Can I stop? Can I stop you? You are talking about. You have a list of who those people are.
Yes, we know all of them. There are some of them.
Fine. Not a problem. So the stakeholders, and we pay 2,000 naira. The non-stakeholders will contribute 1,000 a month. Yes. Okay. Any objection to that? None. Okay. That decision is made. So you already have a list of stakeholders. Mrs. Bakari, I will personally make it my business to make sure those stakeholders are paid, because I will not be part of something where those who are non-stakeholders are paying their money and the stakeholders are not paying. I will make it my business to know. So anybody who cannot afford 1,000, we don't want to know whether you're a student or not. Don't pay. We don't want any justification. If you cannot pay, don't pay anything. Just stay where you are. Come on the platform of payment if you can afford 1,000. Whether you're unemployed or you don't employ, we don't want to know. If you feel you cannot afford it, it is not by force. Don't pay a penny. Nobody wants to know your social circumstance. If you feel you can afford 1,000 naira, I will invite you today to get on the list of those who want to pay 1,000. Mrs. Bakari, you and I are going to do a lot of work. Voluntarily come onto that list. Just voluntarily come. Whether you are a multi-billionaire or you're unemployed, we don't want to know. As long as you can afford that 1,000, we'll be drawing up the list straight after this meeting. Just let's know you're on the 1,000 list. The stakeholders, Mrs. Bakari, I shall make it my business. As I repeat, stakeholders cannot be in the dark. We don't know they are paid. If the 1,000 people are paying, the 2,000 people must be paying. So I think we've reached that decision. Now, the next stage is what was suggested. Any of the 1,000 Naira contributors, if you can afford your 12,000 for 1 year, please pay it at once. Just pay it at once. If you can afford 3 months, pay it at once. I am going to make it my business to make sure the books are kept, because nobody wants to ruin their own name over a small matter. So that is that. Mrs. Bakari, the stakeholders, same goes to them. 2,000 times 12 is 24,000. We must encourage stakeholders to pay either quarterly or bi-yearly. 24,000, pay it into the kitty. Now, I think that is as far as the money is concerned. So decision we have raised. We don't want to know whether you're in the diaspora or in the moon. I have explained this before. Please, my people, the word diaspora does not mean overseas. The word diaspora means to be displaced elsewhere. To be displaced. So if you are from Abia State and you are living in Lagos, you are an Abia diaspora. You have been displaced from Abia to Lagos. If you are a Lagosian, you live in Kano. You are a Lagosian in diaspora. Diaspora starts from outside of your own natural habitat. That is where, outside of it, once you come out of where your natural habitat is, you are a diasporan. That is different from being somebody overseas or abroad. So we have decided today, please, none of diaspora, unemployed, not unemployed, on wage. It's not bad. If you cannot afford the money, please don't get on the list. It doesn't mean you are not NYSRFC. It doesn't mean so. You still are. What we are trying to put together is those who want to help us to marry the wife we have chosen. We have chosen a wife, family. We have chosen a wife to marry. The name of the wife is ADC. The name of the wife is ADC. We have chosen to marry. Me, I wasn't there. I'm just your mama. Now that you have chosen to marry a wife. Me, I was not there. You went to vote for the wife. I never voted. Right. Now, people like Chief CBN, he never voted. But Chief CBN, I think you never voted. We never voted anything. So let's get it right. We've decided today we are going to compile a list of financial supporters of our move to relate to ADC. And what have we decided? We have decided 2 groups of payment. Certain people are called stakeholders. I don't know who they are. Mrs. Bakari and myself will be asking Chief Ubani to provide the list. I must ensure transparency. Transparency. Accountability. One of the things that the young people have been accusing us, old people, of is we are not accountable. I won't be with you and you are not transparent. No. Everybody must be able to see that list. the list of those who are stakeholders, and that they are paying. They are paying. The rest of us who are not stakeholders, there must be a list of those paying. Transparent. That is the only way to build trust. So I think that is as far as the decision we need to make today is concerned. Chief Ubani, any other matters in need of urgent attention we haven't dealt with? Or that is, I've seen Honorable Chris Arinze, over to you. Samuel Bureau. I've got two people whose hands are up. Unmute yourself.
Good morning. Can you hear me? This is Samuel speaking.
Okay, over to you, Samuel. Introduce yourself, please.
This is my first time on
please
this forum, and I was introduced by Chief CBN Onwasanya. Good morning, everyone.
Please, which state are you from? Which state are you from?
I'm from Imo State.
Okay.
Thank you, ma. So, I belong to many of the youth forum, and then I have always tried to inspire the youths and also understand what they also understand from the situation and test their capabilities. So I know they are so willing, like to take over, but taking over, you can only take over a system and change it when you actually know what to put in the system. The new generation and the old generation do not make any difference. So impartation right now is the first thing I believe the group should try to do to the youths. And like I posed in the chat, from my own understanding and from every fact and figure I have added together, the problem of Nigeria is not basically who is steering the ship.
Can I stop you? That matter is not for this. I'm sorry, that matter is not for discussion today.
Okay.
We have closed discussion on that matter. If you did come late, let me tell you what was on the table.
Okay.
Now, thank you, Basil Obinna. He raised a very historic question. Youth takeover, does it mean youth alone? Or does it mean youth plus old people? We have decided on that already. Okay. We have decided that it means youth and old people carefully chosen on two platforms to come and give advice. One. Two, to come and sponsor. The matter suspended for a decision is question of who is an old person. So that question is closed.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Welcome, and I hope you will continue to come to meetings. Delighted to meet you. Let me then say, I think we have dealt with the urgent matter. Anything else, Mrs. Bakari? Any matter that is urgent? I know that people have raised one issue. They have said, you cannot be sitting on platform without meetings. You cannot be sitting on platforms. There are many people on all these WhatsApp groups, they don't know one another. I think we need to arrange, even if it's just once in 2 weeks or once in a month, gathering, open day. Just come and raise any issue. Because at the end of the day, everybody's scattered. There are people, as you said, in diaspora, there are people, you can't ask people to come from Abuja to come and attend meeting in Lagos, unless they're in Lagos. And if they have got to travel, they've got to have a good reason for doing so. It costs money. It costs money. So we've got to rise up to the international world. Nowadays, a lot of what I do, that, I mean, I can see, savings, because flight here, flight there, flight here. No, please, let us understand that it is maybe better for you to spend money on your data on Zoom than taking a plane from Abuja to Lagos. Now, let me go straight on to other people raise their hands. Honorable Chris Arinze, please unmute yourself. I saw your hand up earlier. Honorable Arinze. In his absence, I'm going to go to Nikki Raw. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Easter Monday. I am Comrade Blex Dogmulashi, popularly known as Nikki Raw from Ondo State, a stakeholders in Ondo State. Well, I will not bother myself going to the past incidents, and the issues I want to raise is matter arising of this fund contribution. Like, normally some organizations do, in order to make the organization stand, they contribute yearly, monthly, it might be annually, it might be quarterly. But one thing I want to know about this organization is, they once say, can two work together except they be agree? I want to ask if all the executive that makes this organization stand are on this platform today, apart from Shivubani and Joy that I know. I mean other executives.
Can I stop you? Can I stop you there? That matter is irrelevant because we haven't called an executive meeting. We just called a JARA meeting. So
yes,
everybody here, I will not allow you to question who is executive, who is not. We will call an executive meeting. Whenever you call a meeting, legally, you must target the right audience. So it's irrelevant. And I'm going to ask you, what exactly is the point you want to raise?
The point I'm trying to raise here is, it is not about contributing, it's about making a solid foundation. Because majority of we here, we are just 12 on ground here. It is about making a solid foundation. Then after the people in the cabinet of the house has come together, then they will pass the message to the audience. I've been seeing the message on group, and sometimes I don't really talk unnecessarily. I will watch what people say before I say my word. None of people have been responding. Only just
Again, can I stop you? I'm sorry, you have a loose organization. Your organization is very loose. People don't know each other. There will be a meeting in the future. Thank you for raising the point, because today, earlier hours of this morning, I was speaking to Chief Ubani. There will be a meeting where those who are executives will be invited to a general meeting like this to come and introduce themselves. Your organization is very loose. Everybody is assuming they are part of something they don't know. Now, on the platform, WhatsApp groups, people, I see them misusing it. It's supposed to be to share your thoughts, to provide information. It's not meant for discussion. You cannot do sensible interaction on WhatsApp groups unless it's between two people. Once it is even three, it becomes difficult. Again, most people think WhatsApp groups, once they're on WhatsApp groups, they do each other. But before I go any further, I'll come back to you. Don't disappear. Let me read this out because I wondered whether it's got anything to do with what you're saying. I've got a message here which says, some people who are here is from United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Holland. Yes, that is what I've been told. There's another thing which says, I believe that with the situation of the country, some youths can afford more than 1,000 a month. They can afford. while lots cannot. I will suggest 1,000 registration flats for all youths with 500 naira monthly dues payment. It is better to have 20 million financial members than to have 1 million, while stakeholders pay 5,000 registration. This person is saying stakeholders should pay 5,000 registration and 1,000 monthly dues. Let me repeat that. We have decided stakeholders pay 2,000. This person, I think is from Honorable Chris Arinze. He is saying stakeholders should register 5,000.
Please, can I come in?
Oh, hold on, just hold on. Having said that, I quickly check myself. It may, the subject that he has raised, 5K registration and 1K, I think I will be turning to Chief Ubani when I'm ready in a moment. Let me read all the other things here. Other things here says, sorry, I missed my other Zoom. I've just joined again. Somebody says full-time student, unemployed people should be given consensus. It is normal. Ezendigo 2023. Right. Somebody says the problem is not about age, but going back to the root of the problem in solving it properly. Somebody says, sorry, everyone, I need to join another Zoom at 10. I would like to know how to pay my dues of 500, but don't have Nigerian account. Thank you, Samuel Biro. You have made a valid point. Good one. Let's all talk in the meeting. I support what Samuel just said. How can you defend someone who is 45 years of age, who is a grandfather or grandmother, if this case goes to court? Another one says the problem of Nigeria is not the issue of age or youth. We must address the fundamental challenges. Our problem is structural and fundamental. This should be looked into first, not about age. The youth are not even politically ready to steer the ship. Now, the question age is which age is old, which age is young age, is a question again that can lead another litigation. I can understand that in law, there's what is called unlawful discrimination and lawful discrimination legality. That's from Chief CBN, Ezendigo for President 2023. We have to be mindful, says somebody else. It's still Chief Ezendigo. Oh, Chief Onwan Soanya Ezendigo for 2023. You have to be careful of discrimination of age. This is a criminal offense. Try to avoid litigation in the future. Chief CBN. This is from Honorable Vincent Ubani. Youth plus old people. Youth take over leadership. Okay. All right. So we need to move on in that respect. Anything else, Honorable Chris Arinze? Honorable Chris Arinze, you're back. I think you have a problem with your system. Anything else? Okay. I think we have covered all that we need to do. We need to bring the meeting to a closure. Nikki Raw, let me come back to you. Now, please be focused. What are the key points you want to bring to the attention of this meeting?
Well, my key point, ma, is we having a united forum, a united membership. If someone all the messaging, I will go back to the group again because I believe in group we can see ourselves, we can talk a vital and discuss vision. Majority of people has messaged me once. I said, is it only the DG that is taking decision? You'll be the one to raise it on ground. He's here, he's listening to me. Sometimes I've called to call his attention on it. He will be the one to have a solid decision on it. So people will not even answer. Will be looking at the platform. Let's see what will come out of it. Let's see what the DG can do on his own.
Nikki, can I ask, what is your position in the organization?
I'm just a member of Ladies Wing, ma'am.
Okay, can I stop you there? Thank you. You see, this is about protocol. I want to make this quite clear to you. Anybody who is going behind the scene to be commenting on important matters to somebody who is not in position to assist, the person is not helping. It's not helping. And I'm going to say to all of us, you know, if I am not a secretary of an organization, you want to bring up matters for the secretary, please, I would tell the person telling me, carry your mouth, go and talk to the secretary. Take your mouth, go and talk to the secretary. We must not arrogate a role that is not ours to ourselves. That is how people start confusion. I'm not just saying it to you, my dear Nikki. I'm saying it to all of us. If my role is not that of nobody is in charge of all the platforms, unless the admins. If you go to the admin, the section, you see who the admin is. If you have problem, go to the admin. Go to the admin. Don't start calling or talking to Nikki. Nikki is not admin. Nikki is not admin. So we need to introduce a protocol. You know, one of the reasons I got involved in this organization is because, you know, I have come across situations where Nigerians come to UK to come to us, party political leaders. You see how I said it? Party political leader, that's what I am. They come to present themselves. We cannot make head or tail of the nonsense they are talking about because they don't have international training. They don't have international training. So I want to appeal to all of you, please. I want to appeal to all of us. Let us start really, I beg of us, let us start, permit my saying so. It is village culture where something that is not my business, you want to come and talk to me about it. Let us encourage each other. Chief Ubani, we'll have to publish the details of your executive members who can be contacted. Nikki, can you please mute yourself if it is you, or Chief Ubani, please mute yourselves. We have got to put out a list of those who anybody can talk to. We cannot have people talking the back door, talking to Nikki, what for? I've asked her now, she's just a member. She's just a member. Maybe it's about time somebody like herself, if she's approachable, maybe we want to look at looking at welfare kind of roles so that people who will talk to those they feel are available. Again, that is not an item for the agenda today. It is not an item for the agenda. Haven't responded to you. Nikki, do you still have anything else to say?
Not really, ma'am.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, let me go to Mrs. Janet Bakari. Anything to say? Because I know you are taking notes. Do you have any comments to make? We are going to close the meeting in 5 minutes. Mrs. Bakari, anybody else with anything to say? Now, whilst we're waiting, I'm going to, Mrs. Bakari, I'm going to go through the list of those I have here who attended today's meeting. We will publish the list on one of the platforms anybody who has attended and has been omitted will be able to correct it. So Mrs. Bakari, I've got the list of some people, you've got the list, so I'm clear what the decisions are. I'm going to run through the decisions again, but before I do, Honorable Ubani, anything else you want to say? Couple of minutes, anything else? Oh, Unebugu wants to say something. Please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be in your midst. I'm from Holland, and I really enjoy the program. Everybody have already spoke well. I just want to make a little observation for you that is the coordinating the program. I wish that I feel that you may be hard on so many people that you don't allow them to even speak. And I see that even some people sign out because of that. So in case of next time, you try to be a little bit mild on people. Thank you.
Correction, I'm not a coordinator. I reject that wholeheartedly. Secondly, every meeting has got to have discipline. Majority of people who are signed in here, they are on data. The item for the discussion was already published. I'm an experienced person in managing meetings. Everybody allowed time, 5 minutes, nobody here. This is not a market meeting. This is meant to be a gathering of people who come and be focused. And I mean it, after 36 years of being in a political party, 16 years voted for and served, I think I have a good idea of how to manage meetings. I welcome your contribution. We cannot sit here and take matters that are not relevant. At the beginning of the meeting, we agreed on agenda item. I invited suggestions for further items. Those who were not here at that point in time, I regret. Tough. When we say meeting is at 9, turn up at 9. And at the beginning of every meeting, I will ask you, do you have any matters to table? Mr. Basil Obina was the only one who raised the matter, and he was the first to be heard. We are not here for chit-chat. We are here for professional meeting. On that note, let us all understand, I'm not a coordinator. I am an old woman. I do not, and I'm not eligible to be a member of this organization. So, Mr. Chief Obina, thank you for the suggestion you made today. Thank you for your contribution. Let me go straight on to Chief Ubani. Closing remarks from you, and we are coming to the end of the session.
Please, before you go, please, about the time schedule, I need to excuse myself because it's not my contribution that matters a lot, but what I'm going to gain and what is going to be impacted into my life. The time schedule should always be considerable, so that a lot of people will have the time to attend. Some people are in church. I just have to excuse myself from where noise is. Why some people are doing...
You mean some people are in church today?
Yes, Today is
okay.
Yes.
Can I say, Nikki, yesterday when I was asked to set up this meeting, I asked for time. I asked. And in fact, we're having the meeting 9 o'clock today because I reminded a member of the executive that, look, the last time we had it at 8, people said that 8 o'clock was too early. So they gave me 9. So what I would suggest next time around is that we will put a note on the platform to check when people are available. All right? I always believe that late night is better, but it was suggested we should do it this morning. Over to you, Nikki.
Yes, no problem, majority carries the vote. We just
Thank
need
you, my
to
darling.
Have time.
Thank you very much. Let me see, there are 2 more comments. This need to work. It says, I belong to so many organizations with the same vision, but we all come out with one voice to achieve our aims. It saddened her that since we started, none of their full members has attended. This person is saying that I belong to so many youth organizations, and we all come out. This person is saying those who are meant to be members of this organization, the stakeholders, they've never attended meetings. Thank you very much for raising that point. Chief Ubani, the next meeting we are going to call, all your stakeholders should present themselves. All your stakeholders should be invited to come. Those who can come, let them come. The allegation here is that those who have joined this meeting, they've never met stakeholders. That is not a negative criticism of you. So please, I will be very grateful if we can make that possible. Anything anybody else wants to say? Because we need to come to close of this meeting. Anything else anybody wants to say? Now, Chief Ubani, closing remarks from you. Oh, Mr. Ede Peter.
Mr. Bina, can I say something, man?
Mr. Ede Peter is here. Mr. Ede Peter is here.
Yes.
Mr. Ede Peter.
Yes. Good morning to you all. I'm sorry, showing up now.
Mr. Please log out and come back in. Please log out and come back in.
I'm sorry.
Are you using headphones? Are you using headphones?
No,
if you are, please. Okay. We are listening to you. You have a bad line. You have a bad line. Please log out and come back in. 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 Please log out. Now, Mr. I think it's Basil Obinna who wanted to say something. Over to you.
What I wanted to add was that before now, you told that perhaps going to be a kind of voting between the age bracket or age limit.
No, you are, Mr. Obinna, you are moving around. We cannot hear you if you are moving around. You are moving around. I can't hear you. Please stop for 2 minutes. Thank you. I didn't hear what you said. Yes, go ahead.
I was saying that during the course of the meeting, we proposed 2 age brackets, and
yes.
4 or 3 people voted for 50 years, and I and some other person voted for 60. And
yes.
You did say we're gonna make a vote, a cast vote on this, so that we can decide whether 60 or 50 is the adequate age or the appropriate age agreed. Or we should vote next time.
No, we've suspended it. So Mrs. Bakare will kindly put a request on the platforms, and let's see those who vote in that favor.
Okay.
Yes, I think we'll leave it that way.
That's good then. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ede Peter has come back in. Over to you. Mr. Ede Peter, you may have to write in the chat.
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead. Network. The network. Can you send message to the chat room? Can you send message to the chat room? We need to close the meeting. Can we send notes to the chat room, please? Chief Ubani, can you do closing remarks? And then we close the meeting. Chief Ubani. Chief Ubani, are you on mute? Unmute yourself, Chief Ubani.
I'm sorry, Erelu, I'm very sorry because at the same time I have to unmute myself.
Okay. Okay, we have network problems. Director General, please come in. Please come in.
Discussion. There are just some little minor misinterpretation of information, just like Nikki was raising some topic. I think some of those topic is, you see, when we are trying to do something, some people goes in chatting people privately, trying to raise issues, but they don't want to talk in the platform, but they goes to private people trying to be asking or making a
Chief, if you've got headphones, please remove them, please. Yeah, you have disappeared.
Some
Chief.
people destabilizing us. I'm trying to answer Nikki and the information she has been giving. Because,
Okay.
this we have been holding, like currently I have seen the secretary is there. I have seen him on this meeting, but he's here. And there are people I expected to be here, but I'm not with them. I don't know what leads to them not coming to the Zoom meeting. Some of them may be lack of light or data or so on. My duty is to discharge the notice of this meeting to all portals, and I have done that. Now, those that comes are the ones that made it available themselves. Those that did not come are the ones that I cannot answer what is their reason. So whatever we resolve at the meeting is binding to everybody. That is just the truth of the matter. And we understand that very well because we have called for meeting and the discussion has been made. Whatever we agreed in that meeting is binding to anybody who did not come because the meeting was not secretly done. It was done openly. The notice was sent openly to everybody. So I appreciate every one of us and our contribution in area that has to do with the age 50 to above, 60 and above. We have said it's 50 and anything 50 above are the old people, and some are saying 60. The platform will still be open for dialogue on that issue, even at the group, WhatsApp group, and so on. All other resolve that has to do with the registration. Let me go to that issue. We normally have our official registration of the NYCSF, which is a 1,500 naira registration for members, but for executive member is 5,000 naira. Then those executive members normally pay some reflector of our uniform, which is 2,005. That leads to 7,005, which is not a mandatory one, but the executive to pay 5,000 naira as a mandatory cost. That is what we have been, and that's why those people has already paid as executive member years up to now. They are still our executive member, and many of them are carrying our identity cards. So we have only introduced, the only thing we are introducing here is a levy fee, which is 1,000 for members and 2,000 for executive member. For the registration and as executive member and as a stakeholder, it remains the 5,000 naira, and for ordinary membership is 1,500. So that is the area I want to cover. I want to clarify on the issue that has to do with the registration. So I appreciate every one of us for joining us in this program. And I believe that the same God that made it possible for us all to be in this meeting will continue to be with us and guide us and protect us in this holy season of Easter. I appreciate us, and I pray that God will not forsake our hard work in fighting to get our freedom in Nigeria, because everything we are doing now is targeted on how we can be free from the bad governance, bad leaders that we have been experiencing in our country that has led to a lot of loss of lives, hardship, poverty, and so on and so forth. So I thank you all, and we'll try and
get a list of those that attended this meeting and the minute of this meeting. For those who did not see their name, then know that we'll meet it. All you need to indicate to us so that we can. Thank you very much, and God bless you all for joining us in this program.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a privilege to be able to anchor, that's the word they say in Nigeria, this meeting. Let's not in any way underestimate the voice for the voiceless. Nikki has brought up today an important issue, which as we go forward towards youth takeover, we don't want to behave, you young people, don't behave like us old people. Old people retire. Don't behave like us. Absolute transparency. Please, Chief Ubani, we will be inviting all your executive members to come and show their faces. We want them to come out. Of course, if they have lights, a problem or data problem and they cannot come on that day, it's okay. But one thing that I, from both professional experience and political experience, we've had open days in court, where people come and meet those who take pertinent decisions on their life. It's not normal, but we've done that in court. That's my professional background. So at the end of the day, they may not do that in Nigeria, but you bring people who are seen or privileged to be important. You actually make sure they go near people that they're supposed to be representing. I repeat, court. We open court day. Come and see those who normally you will meet when your matter comes before the court. And interaction took place. They asked us questions, we answered them, they commented on what we do, how we do it. That is here in the UK. So let me say, we are going to have an open day by God's grace. That's my recommendation. Bring your executive to come out. Let them tell us about themselves. What is your name? Which state are you? What job do you do? Which jobs have you done? Let people know your executives. This is what we complain about. All these senators hanging around in the Senate in that Nigeria. Most people don't know who their senators are, and they are not available. The House of Assembly, most people don't know. The governor should be opening his doors once a month or once a year for ordinary people to see where he's living. After all, it is government's property. It's not his home, not just the privileged few. Please, you are talking about youth takeover. Youth takeover should mean youthful things, new things. So, Mrs. Bakari, please, we are going to have a meeting in the future now. All these executives should come there. And we will put the notice on the platform. Don't complain you don't know executive, or come out and meet the executive. In order to make it possible, we'll look at times when most people can make it and the executive can make it. If they know who to turn to, they wouldn't mistakenly, I'm sorry, Nikki, to say that, you must have been carrying yourself well for people to come and talk to you behind the scenes. You know, you must have carried yourself well. That is why they come and talk to you. You must be approachable. People who are actually stakeholders in the organization, they must be approachable. Mrs. Bakari, we need to put their names on the platform. We need to put their numbers on the platform. I served in politics. My address, my phone number, my this, my that, all available. They can just turn up to my door. So I'm not suggesting you should do that, but even email addresses for those people, we should publish them. If somebody's got a complaint, they should be able to send email to whoever, the secretary, the whatever positions you've got, I don't know. But if you're saying you are doing youth takeover is change. Don't start doing, don't start behaving like dark horses, like we say in England. That means nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. You cannot have the same culture you have in the Nigeria of today, where only VIPs go and see Muhammad Buhari. Only VIPs. You have to be important to see Muhammad Buhari. If you have the chance to meet the governor of Abia State, you are God. If you have the chance to even meet a councillor in your local government, it's a big thing. Not to talk about the wife of your seed, the community development, whatever you have in Nigeria there. Let us make a change. Chief Ubani, congratulations today. This has been, in my view, rewarding. I've learned a lot. I've seen the potential that the people in your organization have got. And I look forward to being able to assist in my own small way in the near future. I want to also personally thank all of you for tolerating me. I come from a very disciplined background, and I apologize. I hope more people will join us in future. My particular emphasis as follows. If you call a meeting, you must be focused. We must be focused, and we must come out of the meeting not confused. We must come out of the meeting being very clear, such as today, Mr. Basil Obinna, and I keep mentioning Mr. Basil Obinna, he raised an important matter, we discussed the matter, we reached a decision. But arising from that is a suspended part of the decision, which is that age bracket yet to be decided upon. Mrs. Bakare will put notice on the platforms, and we work out with the DG the modalities of where people can send their vote. Now, please don't send your vote to Chief Ubani in case he does the Nigerian thing. You see, don't send it to him. Maybe we send it to somebody else, the ballot. So I'm just joking. So on that note, have a great Easter.
Ma'am, information, please. Information, please.
Okay, who is that? Who is that?
This is Obinna.
Mr. Obinna. Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I should have said this earlier, but please permit me to say just a minute or two.
No problem.
Okay, I observed from this meeting that we're talking of youth takeover. It's all about Nigerian, right?
Yes.
But from the platform, each time we got meetings or each time we gather for a meeting, the majority of the people on this platform up and doing are all from the South. Majority are from the South. I'm putting it to Honorable Vincent and his crew to please, as much as possible, to embrace the North. Although I don't know how difficult it is, but he should try to embrace the North, because you cannot talk one Nigeria without the North, except we're having something different. But for me, I think we're talking of one Nigeria, and we should all be carried along. From the sketch I sent to him regarding the constitution and the manifesto, I suggested that his executive, like they call themselves stakeholders, he should embrace at least one individual from each of the 6 geopolitical zones for proper representation. And it should be made up of at least 40% women, because where I am, we believe in 50-50 here, because women are also good in contribution and doing some other things to make the nation go forward. We shouldn't remain stereotype of putting men first, men. And men have done bad in Nigeria so much so that where we are today is regrettable. Let us carry along our women, as we say in the youth, good elderly people, all part of Nigeria, to make an inclusive decision in whatever we do. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Basil Obinna, I thank you for your contribution, but I'm going to also make a request. Sure. All what you have said just now, can you please put it into writing? There's nothing wrong in you posting it on the platform. You can say, I would like to encourage people from the North to come and join us. I have noted from my interaction There's nowhere in the country that is not represented on your platforms that I found myself on. So the other thing I would suggest that if you have suggestions about what is going on in your area in order to better involve and engage women, we can, it can be an agenda item in the future. That, you know, in Parliament in Britain, and you see, we have 3 levels in Britain. What you call your local council is the equivalent of our state government. And the next thing is the House of Parliament. And the next one is the House of Lords. Those are the 3 areas we have got. So anybody on the street, anybody on the street belonging to, say, the state Abia, can write a paper and give to any of the representatives of Abia in UK, and they will bring it to the meeting, and it will be tabled as a question. So it's important that if you have good ideas that can help this quality youth take over, please table it as an agenda item for future meetings. And the only thing I will expect of you is that when the agenda item comes to surface, you will speak to it, just as you spoke to your matter today. And we'll all listen to you, and we'll all ask questions, and we'll all split this decision. That is the way to get governors in Senate. That is the way they're supposed to be doing things. That any of you in their senatorial district, give them an issue to take to the Senate, and they should table it on your behalf. That is what it is. If it's the House of Reps, that's the way it's supposed to be. The only place I've been in the East is in Bise, and I went to they always celebrate 80th birthday, where they make people, state people, they don't pay community tax anymore. That's the only, and I saw that they have a unique, we want to hear about some good ways that things work in different areas, you know, and yours 50-50. We need to know about it, because you take over means you do things to facilitate underrepresentation. So thank you, Mr. Basil Obinna. And again, thank you, everybody. We are now coming to the time to say goodbye. Can I ask everybody to please log out so I can shut down? So a very good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the day.
The closing prayer.
Do you want to do so?
Yes, somebody has to do a closing. Let me do the closing prayer there, because.
Go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, Almighty God, we thank you for making us have a successful meeting today. We bless you.
Amen.
Always be here with us, achieving.
Amen. Amen.
And embark on our various activities for today. May you always be there for us and protect us and guide us, and make us come out and go back home safely and sound. Be with our family and loved ones, home and diaspora. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you very much.
Amen.